Today we will start a series of video materials that will focus on the security of environments based on the Azure cloud. Do you want to secure your infrastructure based on the Azure environment and want to look at the issue from a different perspective? This series of materials may be just for you. This material is only an introduction to the entire series of videos dedicated to cybersecurity. I will define here only assumptions to the video close. This is mainly to support the proper understanding of the materials that will appear. In the next videos, we'll focus on a practical approach to the topic of cybersecurity in Azure. There are three assumptions for this course. First, perspective matters. I therefore assume that everyone has basic theoretical knowledge about specific Azure services. This is mainly to support the process of securing created infrastructure. In the absence of such information, the best source is the documentation. Also, it should be noted that the course may not cover all the cybersecurity elements of the solutions discussed. In addition, it's worth remembering that each problem can be solved in a different way. The materials are intended to share cybersecurity knowledge with the community and focus on the key aspects of cybersecurity from the perspective of a specific person. It should be remembered that the author of the materials is not responsible for the security of the environments created and the way the solutions discussed in the materials are used. The second assumption is to keep your systems in check. Some of the things may become outdated over time. It cannot therefore be assumed that the presented materials are always fully up to date. If you want to solve a given security problem in a given environment, you will need to perform such an analysis for your own needs. Cybersecurity is a constant battle that is taking place in many areas that cannot be covered in a few video materials. The last assumption is the relevance of cybersecurity risk. Proposed solutions will often be delivered in a cost-effective manner. However, this doesn't mean that this is the only correct approach. It all depends on the cybersecurity risk occurring in a given environment. The first thing we need to develop is the difference between low, medium, and high cybersecurity risk. The materials will not focus on a threat modeling or risk analysis. Only a simple scale from 1 to 3 will be defined. If we have a low risk, we have a low probability that our infrastructure or application will be attacked. So we assume that the amount of funds for security controls is low. Similarly, for high, we have a high probability that our infrastructure or application will be attacked. So we assume that the amount of funds for security controls is high. It is important to remember that there is always a concept of risk appetite, and what risk will be marked as accepted depends mainly on business decisions and the required security standards that a given organization must meet. And that's all. See you in the next video.